my beautiful queen. A stunning beauty, from the United States. Happy to witness this event today.
Honestly, we are so happy.
Is older than Daniel. She might not be his type, but I think he's comfortable with that.
This is embarrassing. She looks older. She will make a good home.
Something is wrong before Lisa even takes her seat. The room feels prepared for smiles, but the energy says secrets. Faces stay polite, eyes do not. This looks like a friendly meetup, yet the tension lands first, and the small talk follows second. You feel it in the pauses. You feel it in the way people hold back a reaction, then correct their face. This meeting feels planned for the cameras, but the emotions feel unscripted. Someone in this room already carries a memory, and nobody wants to be the first to bring it forward. I'm Lily, and you're watching Reality Drama Files. Subscribe to Reality Drama Files for sharp reality TV commentary, and drop a comment with your take on who you trust more in this room, the friends or Lisa. Your read on this moment matters, because this is where the story tilts. Daniel walks in trying to keep things light. The tone says welcome, yet the body language says caution. A laugh comes out a beat late. A compliment lands flat. A friend looks away when Lisa enters, not out of shyness, but out of recognition mixed with restraint. The kind of restraint people use when a thought hits, and they decide to sit on it. This is not the energy of strangers meeting for the first time. This feels like people checking old files in their head while pretending to focus on the present. A question about travel lands. A question about work lands. Everyone nods. Then silence stretches a second too long, and someone fills it fast. Eyes move between Marcus and Tanya, then away again. It feels coordinated without being planned. The group acts like they are waiting for a cue that never comes. The air holds a name that no one says. The longer that name stays unspoken, the heavier it gets. Daniel senses the shift, yet he keeps smiling. Lisa senses it too, and her smile tightens. The audience senses it before a single word confirms it. This is the kind of room where history walks in before introductions finish. Someone in that room recognized Lisa the moment she walked in, and the silence is the loudest clue. Marcus watches more than he speaks. His eyes track Lisa in a way that feels practiced, like he is checking details, posture, tone, timing. He nods at the right moments, but the nods look automatic. Tanya does the opposite. She pulls back. Her shoulders stay angled away. When Lisa laughs, Tanya smiles late or not at all. These are small things, but small things stack. Polite conversation keeps moving, yet a second conversation runs underneath. The kind that shows up in glances, in the way someone taps a finger, in the way a cup gets lifted and set down with extra care. People who know something they are not ready to say often act like this. They stay present while guarding a door in their head. Daniel talks about plans. The friends listen. They agree. Their agreement feels careful. It feels filtered. This is the tone of people who want to protect him, and also protect themselves. If they speak, they risk becoming the bad guys. If they stay quiet, they risk feeling responsible later. That tension shows in how they lean forward, then lean back. Lisa keeps pace with the room. She answers questions. She keeps her voice even. She smiles on cue. Then, Marcus asks a soft question about her past. Not an accusation. Not a trap. A normal, social question. The kind people ask to be friendly. For half a second, Lisa pauses. It is quick. Many viewers would miss it. But Marcus does not miss it. Tanya does not miss it. Daniel does not miss it. The pause lands heavier than the answer that follows. Her words come out, but the timing already told a story. The room reacts in micro ways. A breath held. A glance exchanged. A chair shifts. The polite layer stays intact, yet the private layer grows louder. How long have they known something they are sitting on? Weeks. months, years. The silence does not answer, but the wait suggests this is not new information. Daniel keeps talking, but his eyes flick to Marcus. Lisa keeps smiling, but her hands move more than before. The question did not expose anything, yet it changed everything. That brief hesitation told the room there is more history here than anyone has admitted out loud. Lisa steps away, and the room changes instantly. The polite layer peels back. Smiles are smaller, nods slower. Marcus leans in slightly, lowering his voice, though the words remain general. Careful. Tanya shifts in her chair, letting a hand gesture signal the beginning of a conversation they've avoided so far. The tension now has space to stretch. And it stretches. Even without speaking names, the air carries the weight of recognition. Faces remember things they rarely admit. Marcus references seeing someone in situations that felt off, something that made him pause years ago. Tanya nods, recalling similar moments that didn't add up at the time. The shared recognition doesn't need specifics to be felt. The audience can sense it too. The group navigates memory carefully. It is not about accusation. It is about noticing repeated behaviors and patterns. Observations are framed in general terms, the kind that sound safe for cameras, but heavy for the people involved. When someone mentions a situation from the past, the others respond with a slow acknowledgement. Eyes narrowing, heads tilting. This is recognition speaking quietly. Almost like a warning they hope Daniel doesn't hear yet. The unspoken question lingers. Could these be isolated incidents, or is this part of something larger? No one claims certainty. They stick to what they remember seeing and hearing in public or extended social circles. The difference between one odd story and a repeating pattern is subtle, but enough to set nerves on edge. The weight of patterns makes the silence between sentences louder than the sentences themselves. Daniel remains unaware of how deeply the recognition has already settled. Each observation hints at history colliding with present reality, a puzzle no one is ready to fully lay out. The tension is compounded by the uncertainty of memory. Is it perception, assumption, or fact? Everyone leans on allegedly and remembering to keep the conversation safe yet meaningful. The stakes rise because patterns suggest this is not a one-off scenario. What might have been ignored in the past now demands attention. The friends' caution is no longer just about politeness. It is about protecting Daniel from consequences they hope he can navigate without interference. It becomes clear to the room that this isn't about one relationship, but a repeated pattern they believe is unfolding right in front of them. Friends sit in silence a moment longer, letting the weight of their thoughts settle before speaking again. There's a tension here that comes from knowing something and watching someone you care about step into a situation that could hurt them. Loyalty clashes with protection. They've waited, hoping things would resolve naturally or that Daniel would notice on his own. But hesitation has a cost. The longer they sit, the clearer it becomes. If they don't act, someone else might pay the price. Psychology creeps into every glance. People stay quiet when revealing information risks conflict, judgment, or permanent damage to a relationship. Marcus and Tanya know this, but now the stakes feel higher than ever. Their hesitance is a signal of care, not fear. They understand that stepping in too early might feel controlling, but stepping in too late could feel negligent. That inner debate, visible in every subtle nod or pause, tells viewers that human behavior in these situations is rarely straightforward. They think about Daniel. Loyal friends don't want to hurt him, yet they also can't ignore what they perceive. The tension is emotional, but practical. They weigh what's best for him. Emotional safety, financial stability, and the patterns they've allegedly observed. Even without naming specific incidents, the general concerns are heavy. There's worry that subtle manipulation, dependency, or misaligned expectations could create pressure he doesn't yet recognize. They fear that these dynamics could escalate if left unchecked. Each friend contributes, carefully without overstepping. They offer insight framed in observed behavior and past experience. The focus isn't blame, it's about alerting someone they care about before consequences escalate. Their conversation reflects the mental gymnastics people perform when deciding whether to speak up, balancing empathy with foresight. Even in this quiet exchange, viewers feel the emotional strain. They see people navigating loyalty and truth, trying to act responsibly without shattering the relationships they value most. The ethical tightrope is visible in every pause and glance, and it's impossible to ignore the pressure on Daniel's friends to get the timing right. There are hints of proof in the room, subtle pieces that haven't yet been revealed, waiting to tip the balance. Lisa returns, and the atmosphere changes immediately. The warmth that was forced earlier has evaporated. Smiles are tighter, laughter feels measured, and pauses stretch just a second longer than before. The room is polite, but every glance, every shift in weight, signals that something has shifted while she was gone. Marcus watches with the same intensity as before, but now his posture is more rigid. Tanya keeps her distance, leaning back slightly, hands folded in front of her. Even Daniel senses the subtle tension, his own movements slightly constrained as he tries to maintain calm. The conversation resumes, but the rhythm is off. Words feel measured, pauses deliberate, as if everyone is weighing not just what to say, but how to say it. Lisa answers questions with her usual composure, but her eyes dart slightly more than usual, and her hands fidget in small, almost imperceptible ways. The camera captures these micro moments. She blinks faster, shifts her weight, smiles too quickly. On screen, these small signals look like discomfort, not guilt. But viewers watching carefully sense that she is feeling the weight of unspoken scrutiny. Denial is subtle. She responds to questions with careful phrasing, maintaining a neutral tone. Yet every word is punctuated by micro-expressions, a raised brow, a slight pause, a downward glance. It doesn't prove wrongdoing, but it creates tension. The audience begins to question what lies beneath her surface. Are these normal nervous reactions? Or is there more history hidden behind the composure? The group's dynamic has shifted too. Daniel is quieter, more observant. His friends continue to speak carefully, watching reactions rather than engaging fully in conversation. There is no shouting, no accusation, but the energy is charged. Every question carries weight. Every answer is analyzed before it lands. The scene holds, building anticipation without a single dramatic line. The smallest reactions start to feel monumental, as if a single glance could reveal everything. The audience is waiting for confirmation of what the friends suspect, but nothing has been explicitly revealed yet. And just as the tension reaches its peak, a visual clue appears on camera that changes the energy of the room completely. Daniel's attention sharpens as the conversation shifts subtly. Friends reference old messages and screenshots, careful to frame them as general observations rather than explicit claims. The content itself is blurred, partial, and vague enough to stay legally safe, but the implication is heavy. On screen, Daniel leans forward, his brow furrowing, and every slight movement of his hands shows that he is processing more than he can say. The tension between loyalty and trust becomes visible. Daniel wants to believe Lisa, yet he also trusts the friends who have known him for years. The conflicting loyalties tug visibly at him. His body language shifts constantly, leaning toward Lisa, then pulling slightly toward Marcus and Tanya. Every nod, every pause, every glance reflects an internal debate between defending his partner and honoring the people who have been there through every stage of his life. Even with partial evidence, the emotional dynamics of the room intensify. Friends speak carefully, hinting at concerns without outright accusation. The messages are described as seen in context, allegedly troubling, leaving Daniel to fill in the gaps himself. Viewers at home can sense the weight of this ambiguity. He isn't reacting to a clear accusation. He's reacting to the possibility of history repeating itself, to patterns that might exist beyond what he has seen firsthand. Lisa senses the subtle shift in tone as well. Her composure remains, but there are small cracks, a slight tightening around the mouth, an almost imperceptible shift in posture. The room is heavy with unspoken questions, and the camera captures every micro-expression that hints at the strain between truth, perception, and trust. Each reaction adds layers. Daniel's friends are protective but cautious, not wanting to overstep, yet not willing to remain silent. Daniel's responses oscillate between calm reasoning and rising tension. The energy is electric, a mix of uncertainty, concern, and emotional overload. Daniel's next move feels inevitable, an impulsive reaction, waiting to break the fragile balance in the room. The room settles into a tense quiet, but it's not calm. It's the kind of silence that feels heavy, because nothing has been resolved. Daniel has stepped away. Lisa is sitting tensely, and the friends remain caught between relief that something was said and anxiety about the fallout. Every glance, every small movement carries weight. This chapter closes emotionally, but it leaves questions wide open. The audience is left considering the same dilemma Daniel is facing. Is Lisa hiding something significant? Or are the friends projecting past fears onto a situation that might not warrant it? Patterns, hesitation, recognition, these are all real, but perception is not always truth. The tension between what is observed and what is assumed drives the story, keeping viewers glued to every frame. Daniel's decision, Lisa's reaction, and the friends' intentions are all in motion, creating a web of uncertainty. The emotional stakes are high. Trust, loyalty, and perception collide, and the unresolved energy lingers long after the camera stops rolling. Every viewer is left forming their own judgment while anticipating the next revelation. There's one more piece that hasn't been addressed yet. Something surfaced after this meeting that could reframe everything we've witnessed so far. Something subtle, but explosive enough to shift alliances and perceptions entirely. And when that next moment arrives, it promises to rewrite what everyone thought they knew about Lisa and the dynamics in Daniel's life, leaving fans desperate to see what happens next.